only a Southerner can beat President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the 2027 election, according to Professor Udenta Udenta. Professor Udenta Udenta is a professor that understands the politics of Nigeria like the back of his hands. He has taken a look at the political terrain ahead of 2027, and he has reached a conclusion that only a Southern candidate can defeat President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And he was therefore warning people like Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and other Northerners who still have interest in contesting the 2027 election that they will just be wasting their time. Now, before I play you the video of Professor Udenta Udenta, let me give you some background for you to understand that Professor Udenta is not far from the truth. In fact, what he said is the gospel truth. But before you listen to Professor Udenta on the reason why he believes that only a Southerner can beat Tinubu and not a Northerner in 2027, I want you to understand that what is playing out right now. Under Nigeria's unwritten constitution of power rotation, power is supposed to remain in southern Nigeria until 2031. That was the reason why Peter Obi said that he's going to do one term, because he knows that by 2031 it will no longer be the turn of the South to produce the president. Atiku Abubakar himself, who is still insisting that he will contest in 2027, he is aware of this arrangement. Don't forget that Atiku Abubakar led the revolt against Jonathan becoming president in 2011 in PDP, because he felt that it was still the turn of the North to continue to produce the president after the death of Yaradua. That after Yaradua died on May 10th, 2010, May 5, 2010, sorry, that Jonathan should just complete the tenure and give way so that a Northerner will take over because of zoning in the PDP. Because at that time, Obasanjo had been president for 8 years from the South, and the North felt it is their turn, and rightly too. And that was how Umaru Musa Yar'Adua became president after 8 years of Obasanjo. Unfortunately, Yar'Adua died after being president for 3 years, and Jonathan completed it. Atiku Abubakar was the architect of Northern revolt against Jonathan contesting in 2011. In fact, it was during that period that Atiku Abubakar showed interest to contest, that Jonathan shouldn't contest, so that a Northerner will emerge as president of Nigeria in line with that zoning arrangement. And Atiku was not the only person that was interested from the North to succeed Jonathan, so that Jonathan would just complete Yar'Adua's tenure and give way. General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida was interested in the race in PDP. General Aliyu Guzo, former National Security Advisor, former Minister of Defense under Obasanjo, was interested. All of them wanted to contest, including Dr. Bukola Saraki, who was then completing his tenure as governor of Kwara State. So these Northerners, Guzo, Babangida, Saraki, and Atiku Abubakar, they were ready to battle Jonathan in 2011 because of zoning, because they believe that power should rotate. Okay? To avoid dividing their votes in PDP, these northern big wigs in politics decided to subject themselves to a consensus so that one of them will face Jonathan in the PDP primaries. And they were hoping that they will use their numbers of delegates to be able to defeat Jonathan at the 2011 primaries of the PDP. And Adamu Shiroma was the chairman of the consensus committee to select which of these four men would fight Jonathan for the PDP ticket. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar maneuvered his way and was able to beat Obasanjo. Beat Babangida, beat General Aguso, and Bukola Saraki, and was the consensus candidate of the North. He was the one that faced Jonathan at the primaries. Unfortunately for him, Jonathan beat him at the primaries and emerged the candidate of the PDP. That altered the rotation arrangement. Okay? Atiku didn't allow that to lie low. When Jonathan was now trying to come back in 2015, Atiku Abubakar, in the spirit of that same zoning, revolted against Jonathan continuing. And he now found soulmates in people like Kwankwasho, people like other northern governors that didn't want Jonathan to continue, and then some southern governors, particularly Rotimi Chibi-Kamechi. Okay? They worked and ensured that Jonathan was not re-elected. That show, I'm giving you this story for you to know that Atiku Abubakar is aware of rotation of power. Now, after they used that rotation, that zoning arrangement to kick out Jonathan, the North has spent 8 years under Buhari. Buhari from 2015 to 2023. And the common sense dictates that is power supposed to return to the South and stay for another 8 years to avoid the mistake that PDP made in the past. Now, that is what APC did by allowing a Southerner, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to emerge as their candidate. Now, the PDP ought to have done the same thing. But Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, in violation of this zoning, in collaboration with Nyesom Wike, who was scared of the zoning favoring Southeast, they worked against zoning in the PDP, and the party threw the presidency open. And the PDP is still paying a price for it to date. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar was made, PDP became so uncomfortable to him that he has now moved to ADC. Now that he's in ADC, the ADC, they are also making the same mistake of the PDP in 2023. The ADC has refused to zone their presidency, giving the impression that they are throwing it open. And it is believed that this is at the behest of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, because he believed that he has the financial resources more than Peter Obi or any other person to be able to get the ticket. But if Atiku Abubakar get the ticket, can he win? He cannot win. And that is the import of this video of Udenta that I want you to say. Atiku cannot win if he emerges as the candidate of ADC or any party for that matter. He cannot win. A northern candidate cannot be able to win in 2027. Okay? That is important. But I will talk more of this after you watch this video.
Where do you factor in Atiku Abubakar in your calculations about Goodluck Jonathan possibly emerging as a candidate on either the platform of the PDP or the ADC? Because the Atikus, the El-Rufais are people who are laying the foundation for what's happening on the coalition side. How do you see this whole dynamic working?
You know the beauty of zoning. Some people say that zoning represses competence and efficiency. It is not true. I've given instances where I said in my village, we have many people, tens and tens of professors and hundreds of doctorate holders and engineers and so on. We can make a cabinet of a federal republic. Every village, every community, every state, every zone, we've got what it takes. But when it says zoning, it's a way of restraining the appetite for power among the elite. A southern emerged in 2023. He has to complete that tenure. Somebody has to complete that tenure till 2031. That's what saw Jonathan into trouble in 2015, if you have to recall. That's why PDP imploded. 5 governors, Atiku, and then Saraki, all left, not because of anything, but said, it is not your turn. So 2027 is not the turn of the North. That's why Bola Mohammed, leader of the PDP Governors Forum, Governor of Bauchi State, said, Bola Mohammed said, no, I will put in hold my own ambition, and let's get this thing zoned to the South. No Northerner will beat a Southerner in this cycle. Anybody, by name.
You're so certain about that.
I said, convene a town hall, not just a 30-minute conversation, a 2-hour town hall. And I will prove to you that no Northerner will get 10% in any of the 17 southern states. Because where do you going to get a number? The president has taken control of the apparatuses in this state. Only Jonathan and Peter Obi will price these apparatuses open. No Northerner will do so because they say, if you don't have a Jonathan, for example, contesting an election, and you don't have a P2B contesting an election, many Southerners, even who do not like the president, will queue behind him.
Right.
I'm telling you, scholars, intellectuals. One of my friends, I won't name him, said, maybe stable incompetence may be better than unstable incompetence. That means to have somebody from where you're talking about there, we may have to go for the stable incompetence of the current administration. That means if you don't have 25% in any southern states, and there's 17 of them, where do you get the number to win? But you can have a southern candidate or a sitting president even commanding 5, 6, 7 states in the north, whether you like it or not. That geography is no longer as monolithic as it used to be. So it is a complex mix of ethnicities, religions, geographies, and demographics. The implication is that it is easier for a southern president, a southern candidate like Jonathan or Peter Obi to smash through the next election than a northerner.
So how do you see this arrangement working out?
That was Professor Udenta Udenta explaining to you why only a southern candidate like Peter Obi or Goodluck Jonathan can beat Tinubu in 2027. Even Goodluck Jonathan issue is a subject for another day. But let's put it clearly that only Peter Obi can defeat Tinubu in 2027. And only a southerner can do that, and not a northerner, not Atiku Abubakar. Or this Atiku Abubakar's grandstanding on contesting in total disregard of zoning is going to be the biggest undoing of the ADC. Because like Udenta pointed out, there is no northern candidate that could be able to get up to 25% in southern Nigeria in 2027. Not even one. That his Atiku running will only make room for things to be easier for Tinubu in southern Nigeria. Okay? But Atiku is not listening. Atiku is looking at his age. He's in his 80s. So he's saying that this is his last chance. But he's still looking strong. He can still wait until 2031 when it will be the turn of the North to contest. But he doesn't seem to want to do that. But there is no way he can be able to defeat a sitting southern president. It is not possible. The numbers are not in his favor. Even in the last election, Atiku struggled. Even in the north. Atiku could not even lock down his northeast zone. If you look at the last election in the north, Atiku shared north-east his geopolitical zone with Tinubu. Okay, they shared the 3-3. Atiku took 3, Tinubu took 3. Okay, an indication of how unpopular he is, even in the north. Okay, he couldn't lock down the northeast. Even in the northwest, where he was able to do well. He did well in northwest in the last election, but yet, despite that he did well in the northwest, he was not able to win to the level that to upstage Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, what Tinubu has done now is using the power of incumbency to empower a lot of people who are anti-Atiku Abubakar. So Atiku Abubakar doesn't have the grassroots support to be able to mobilize votes. Atiku Abubakar is no Buhari, and he's no Peter Obi. Because if you look at Nigerian politics today, there are only 2 men. One is late now, that has organic followership, that people are ready to spend their own money to support them, to campaign for them, to do the legwork for them, even without expecting shishi. These 2 men include late Muhammad Buhari and the living Peter Obi. And if you are going to challenge Tinubu, you need somebody with organic support, somebody without baggage, somebody who has been tested, somebody that people can see a new Nigeria and not the old guard. There is nothing different between Tinubu and Atiku Abubakar. They are all part of the old brigade of Nigerian politics, right from the SDP to date. They have been running things on politics. There is nothing different. You can't expect change from Tinubu or Atiku Abubakar. The only change you can expect in Nigeria has to come from Peter Obi. And if you look at his clean record, no EFCC, no corruption, he is squeaky clean. You can't compare, because if you want to say that Tinubu has a lot of baggage, agreed. Even Atiku himself is no saint. All you have to do is just go to Google, type Atiku and corruption. You'll be amazed what will pump up, including what things about him that Obasanjo has written in his book. Atiku and Tinubu are 2 people that Obasanjo has written copiously about their alleged corruption in his book. And they have not made any effort to stop that book from circulating or go to court to challenge Obasanjo. But if you are looking for a new Nigeria, a Nigeria where corruption will no longer be an issue, where a Nigeria will be run transparently and all that, there is no better candidate than Peter Obi. But if you want to exchange Atiku, it's exchange Tinubu for Atiku. It makes no difference. It's just like a difference between Eba and Gary. The difference between Atiku Abubakar and Tinubu is the difference between Eba and Gary. Not much difference. The same carbohydrate. Obi is the only solution, and he has the momentum. Because if you look at what Tinubu is doing, he's gathering all the so-called structures. But Peter Obi beat him and Atiku Abubakar in 2023 without structures. So these structures, Tinubu is trying to acquire as a hedge around his presidency in 2027. Peter Obi is the only one that can dismantle it because he doesn't need structure. As important as structures are, If not for Peter Obi, why did the INEC deliberately switch off the transmission of result? It was because of Peter Obi, the man who has no structure. And this election, Tinubu is building it on structure. And only somebody who can dismantle structure can defeat Tinubu. And that person, incidentally, is from southern Nigeria, and that is Peter Obi. I don't know what you think about the way I'm giving you why Peter Obi is the man from the south that can beat Tinubu, and why I agree with Professor Udenta Udenta that there is no way a northern candidate can be able to beat Tinubu in 2027. Only a southerner, and that southerner is Peter Obi. Not even Goodluck Jonathan. Peter Obi is the one, because whether you like it or not, the only thing going for Goodluck Jonathan is that, okay, the North will be sure. People will be sure that he's not going to contest again. But that will not be enough to win the election. You need somebody, because already the political parties, opposition political parties, are in tatters. No, ADC has no structure, because these are the same people that were boasting that P2B has no structure ahead of 2023 election. ADC has no structure. PDP, no structure. Even what they have is no structure. The little they have now, and the more people are defecting, that's what they are relying on. And as far as I can see it, Jonathan doesn't have organic followership like Peter Obi. People can't trust him the way they trust Peter Obi as being a change agent. Don't forget, even Jonathan has been tested, and the result, the way he handled his position as commander-in-chief, the verdict is still out there to be done. So basically, the only hope of the opposition, if they truly want to upstage Tinubu in 2027, is to run with Peter Obi. Will Atiku Abubakar listen? That is the million-dollar question. I don't know what you think about Udenta's analysis and my own analysis on what can help the opposition to upstage the ruling party, the APC, in 2027, and ensure that the Tinubu administration is defeated in the coming election. But whatever is your position, let's hear from you at the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, God will rank it hard and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.